Hello to the Hewitt School. I think you have more girl power in this room and in this school than any other place on the Upper East Side, so I am thrilled to be here. And I'm going to tell you a little dirty secret about myself. I pick up other people's dog poop, and I don't even have a dog. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about me, and the focus of this talk today is about anonymous acts, random acts of kindness. And before I tell you why I have to practice anonymous, random acts of kindness, I have to tell you a little bit about myself. I have always been a human rights advocate and activist. This is a picture of me taken at Shire Village Camp, a somewhat socialist camp that focused on everything that was non-sexist, non-competitive, and non-racist. And this was the actual advertisement in the back of the New York Times. So I have the best job in the world. As you heard, I'm a playwright, and I'm a human rights activist and advocate. So I get to do everything I love when I go to work every day. I get to work with girls ages 12 to 21, and we focus on human rights issues and issues affecting girls every day. So it's everything from gender-based violence to forced child marriage to bullying to body image. It's pretty much sitting in a room with girls, asking them what they care about, and then creating ensemble work based on their stories and stories of girls around the world. So again, I get to ignite, spark, and empower girls and audiences every day of my life by coming to Girl Be Heard. We've had some incredible shows, again, written by girls since 2008. We had a show about the rape epidemic in Congo that we brought to the White House. That was one of the first global shows we did. Last year, we did Gloria Steinem's favorite show called Trafficked, about the $38 billion sex trafficking industry in the world. And this past year, we did a show about gun violence inspired by Newtown. And my girls decided they wanted to raise awareness about gun violence. And then they realized, since most of them are from New York City, living in some of the toughest neighborhoods in the world, that they're dealing with this every day. And many of them realized that they were homicide survivors, and they never really realized this any other time in their life, that they had cousins and friends and neighbors and so many people that they love suffering from gun violence. So speaking out for injustice, again, I do this personally, I do this at work, and I do this because being a girl is risky business. 6 out of 10 girls in every community around the world have or will experience physical or sexual violence in her lifetime. That means out of all of you, out of 100, 60 of you have or will experience this violence. In some place like the Congo, it might be rape as a tool for war that's used to rape women. In a place like the Upper East Side, it might be incest. It might be date rape, but it's happening in every single community around the world. So I speak out for injustice. I speak out for it every single day, and I speak out for it because it's still risky business to be a girl, and it's hard to be a girl. This is an example of something taken out of the news just 2 days ago. It was a circuit speaker named Justin Lookadoo. I don't know if anybody heard about this story, but he was hired by a principal to do an assembly program in Texas, and he was talking about how girls can only be dateable if they shut up. And it was a whole lecture about this. So one of the things that I post on my Facebook page is to look out for Justin Lookadoo. So how do we rise above this injustice? I do it in a very big way. I do these theater shows that are written and performed by girls about girls' issues. But the truth is, I have to think and act globally, but I have to also work locally. And one of the ways I try to do this in my daily life is to practice random acts of kindness, and I get extra bonus points if they're anonymous random acts of kindness. And so I need to do this on the subway. So an act of kindness on the subway is when you're sitting down and you see a pregnant woman and you give up your seat for her. If you're sitting on the subway and you see someone with a cane and you give up your seat for them. A random act of kindness is when you go on the subway and you don't take a seat. So this is the kind of humility I try to practice. Another thing you could do in the deli is that if someone's working really hard behind that counter, that you can basically let the person keep the change. That there are small little ways. If someone's in a rush, you can step back and let them go in front of you in the deli. There are very easy ways to practice this every single day. And on the streets, as I told you, I have done this brilliant thing that is not my idea. My friend Anne and I have been trying to practice these anonymous acts of kindness. And she called me one day, she goes, I have the most incredible thing that I did today. And she goes, I picked up another person's dog poop. And I stopped and I was like, well, she is a dog. she is a dog. Do I really have to do this? Is this really what's going to make me happy, joyous, and free? And she started doing it every day. And every day she got happier and happier. And I started to think, wow, if Anne can get happier and happier every day by picking up someone else's dog poop, it might just work for me. So it started out, I walked my son to school. And by the way, I'm 45 years old. For 44 years, I've been walking streets and cursing people for the dog poop I see on the sidewalk. I said, how can they do it? These people are so selfish. It's taken up so much space in my head. And as soon as Anne gave me this idea, and I started walking down the street, I thought, oh my God, there's actually something I can do about it. And certainly there have been times in my life where I have forgotten to put my laundry inside the washer and my husband had to do it. Or I forgot to do all the dishes and my husband had to do it. Or I come home and I didn't make dinner and I didn't bring anything home and my babysitter has dinner for us. There are so many other people doing acts of kindness for me that the least I can do is carry a couple of bags in my back pocket to pick up poop. And most importantly, I think, about these acts of kindness is that they begin at home. So while I have this great job, I do this amazing work to stop sex trafficking and violence against women and to stop gun violence, it doesn't really mean a lot if I'm a saint at work and I'm an everyday son of a beep. So this is my family. And as you can see, my husband has nice and I have naughty next to me for a family picture. And I do this because my husband, to me, is this spiritual giant. While I'm here, he actually had a hip surgery, but he's taking care of my children. When I come home late, he's the one that gets early for the babysitter. So he's constantly taking care of our children to allow me to come out and speak to you about these issues that are related to human rights, but also how we think globally but act locally. So why pick up poop? I pick up poop because it's not so easy for me to stop thinking about myself. And I got this incredible Facebook post that one of my colleagues at work posted, and she said, "This is you." And as you can see, the little stick figure says, "What the hell is that?" And the stick figure says, "Oh, that's just my mind." And in all sincerity, this is a TED Talk. I'm supposed to talk about ideas that inspire. And I think of a million ideas, and I had a million things to talk about today, but I thought the most useful tool that I could pass on to you today is how I live happy, joyous, and free by doing these anonymous acts of kindness. So, again, random acts of kindness is terrific. Do them. You're going to feel better about yourself every day. But, as I told you, if you really want to change the world and inspire the people all around you, it's the anonymous act of kindness that do it. So my recommendation to you is, instead of cursing that poop on the street, carry a couple extra bags in your back pocket and see how it's going to change your life. It certainly has changed mine, and I'm so happy to be here to share it with you. Thank you.